Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And just simply a DVD and Blu-ray update. Been a while since I've done one of these. Let's get right into it. Picked up a couple stuff. Number one, Robin Williams' Comic Genius, which I did not even know this was a thing, but I was at Walmart the other day and saw this there. I'm like, what is this? Is this like a new documentary? I mean, I know there was one and I saw that, but no. It is his stand-up all in one set. That's really cool. Now, what's featured here are his 5 HBO stand-up specials. Off the Wall from 1978. An Evening with Robin Williams, 1983. An Evening at the Met, 1986. Live on Broadway, 2002. And Weapons of Self-Destruction, 2009. So, I had the Live on Broadway, but to get the other stuff, plus it has quite a few features. See right here. So you have featurette Robin Williams, The Early Years, second annual HBO Young Comedian Show from 1977, Great American Laugh-Off, 1977, Robin Williams Meets Frank Sinatra, The Dick Cavett Show, Comedy Celebration Day, 1982, 85, and 90, I Love Liberty from 1982, Catch a Rising Star's 10th Anniversary, 1982, The Comedy Store Anniversaries, Class Reunions, Young Comedians All-Star Reunion, 1986, Superstars and Their Moms, 1987. So I don't know what all this stuff is. I haven't had a chance to watch these yet, but it's pretty cool. Even like Robin Williams Live on Broadway. You have an interview with Robin, the director. This might have been the old DVD. HBO promos, rough cuts, press room after Robin's Live 2002 Grammy win, Mrs. Doubtfire toasts Richard Pryor 1993, People's Choice Award for favorite actor and favorite comedy motion picture. So it just shows when he won. I'm guessing he won those from Mrs. Doubtfire as well. Shakespeare the Animated Tales HBO promos. Press room after Robin's People's Choice win. So it's nice that not only is there specials, but there's also quite a few features. And they get these specials all on DVD in one set. And it might not be much, but it's nice that at least they have different colors. And that they did space out the disc to 5, because sometimes they'll try to be cheap. Or another thing, the packaging is nice. They didn't just stack them all on top of each other or put them in fucking sleeves or something. So yeah, I really look forward to watching this. I miss Robin Williams, fan of his. It was really heartbreaking when he passed away from suicide, as we come to find out, because of what was happening to his body, and just heartbreaking. That's why I have not done a Robin Williams marathon. It'd be very hard to do because of those circumstances. So even if a film I don't like, I don't know how honest I could be, so that's why I haven't done one. I just say like my favorite Robin Williams films. I'm looking at them over there. That's where my eyes are at. I love Club Paradise. I love Toys. Toys is such an underrated one. What Dreams May Come. Mrs. Doubtfire I've grown an appreciation for. Popeye I've actually always liked. I never minded Popeye for a music. I'm not a big musical guy, but I have fun with that. Let's see What Dreams May Come was good. Good Morning Vietnam. His acting, Good Will Hunting. Just to name a few. Yeah. Robin Williams, comic genius. Next up, I've never watched this show growing up. I had seen bits and pieces of it. But considering all the good stuff I've heard, I wanted to give this show an actual full watch. And that is Miami Vice. I've seen bits and pieces. I saw that piece of shit movie with Jamie Foxx. I like Don Johnson, especially from Dead Bane. Very underrated movie. This has all 5 seasons. Now granted, it's the cheapo milk creams in these fucking sleeves like this. On the flip side, this only costs $25. So while the packaging is dirt cheap, I feel like I'm going to break it. It's going to fall apart in my hands. It's $25. $25 for 5 seasons of the show. It probably has soundtrack from Phil Collins, U2, Peter Gabriel, The Who, Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses, The Cure, Public Enemy. I really look forward to giving this a watch. Because I do like a lot of Michael Mann's movies. Heat, Collateral, Manhunter, The Keep, and cleanse the palate of that bullshit Miami Vice movie. So yeah. Now I will be able to get a chance. $25. You can't beat $25 for 5 seasons of a show. Shitty packaging notwithstanding. Next up, My Demon Lover. Now sadly, this is a glorified DVD-R. That's what Warner Archive is. And you can see how cheap they did it because the menu is literally the Warner Brothers logo. You ever seen movies where they're on the back lot and you see the water tower or whatever with the Warner Brothers logo on it? It's a picture of that as the menu. So it's not even a picture of the poster or a still shot of the movie. It's literally that water tower thing with the Warner Bros. Logo as the fucking menu. And of course, no features. But the picture quality looked nice. It worked fine. It does have artwork on it. And I am a fan of this film ever since I saw it as a kid. I will review this sometime during the 80s horror marathon because this came out in 1987, and watch it again. I still really enjoy it. I think it's a fun romantic comedy. I love the song Let Go, dun, 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 let go. I like Scott Valentine. He was in this. I know he's famous for his recurring role in Family Ties. I did not watch Family Ties a lot growing up. I do remember more from this. He was in a really shitty movie called Dead Time Stories. And he's in a fun direct-to-video movie called Carnosaur 3. But yeah, I like Scott Valentine. I thought he did a good job. I like this lady too, Michelle Little. Produced by Robert Shea, released by New Line Cinema, which this did not do well at all. That's probably why it doesn't have a release of anything. This deserves a Blu-ray with features. I mean, if you fucking got a Blu-ray of Dead Time Stories, and from what I heard, that Blu-ray has an interview with Scott Valentine. If he did an interview for that, he'll do an interview for this. This is a lot better movie than Dead Time Stories. So this deserves a Blu-ray with features. Come on. Stream Factory or whoever. Let's see it. Next up, Silent Madness. Now this is... I told this story... Well, probably by the time I've uploaded this, I pre-recorded the review, so You probably haven't seen that yet. So, a little backstory. This is a film that I pre-recorded a review for 1984 horror movies. And when this first came out, it was in 3D. Now, there are different cuts of the film, as I come to find out. If you find it on YouTube, normally it's a cut version. Granted, it's not like the difference between My Bloody Valentine, the theatrical, and the uncut version. But still, some little bits here and there which are nice. It's never been released on DVD in the US. There's a Blu-ray overseas, but it's still a cut version. So I got a copy DVD-R on eBay, which is this one. But when they sent it, it was the wrong one. It was the wrong damn one. Well, they said it was uncut, but it wasn't uncut. Thankfully, I did get my money back. And so I was able to edit my own copy where I downloaded the normal version off YouTube, and thankfully someone had a couple of these scenes, the uncut stuff, separately. I explain this more in the review of this, but this is it's a slasher film I did not mind. It's nothing to blow your mind or anything. It's not an underrated gem, but I like the look of the killer. The lead is actually the lady who would be Doogie Howser's mom on the TV show, Belinda Montgomery. There's some quirkiness to it. Like the attempts at 3D, like he throws an axe and then it becomes an animated axe for a second. One person dies while they're playing the arcade version of Dragon's Lair. So I mean, it's not an overly gory film, but I like the lead character, Belinda Montgomery. The ending was not a stupid BS ending. I've seen a lot of bad slasher films. This one I could watch. This one I actually didn't mind enough that I wanted to have a copy, even if it's DVD-R. The last two are Blu-rays. One is Horror Express. This is from Severin. It is a Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee flick. I will be honest, I'm not much of a Hammer horror guy. I did review a couple. I would say the one I liked the most of them was Horror of Dracula. But yeah, the Frankenstein ones and the other vampire, I like Peter Cushing, I like Christopher Lee, but the movies themselves, other than Horror of Dracula. This isn't a Hammer horror film, but I just mentioned it because these two star in it. Horror Express was pretty cool because usually those two actors were adversaries. Here they're both good guys and they work together. I thought that was really neat. Telly Savalas, he's also in the film. I like Telly Savalas. Who loves it, baby? I thought the idea of the killer where it'll look in a person's eyes and their eyes start bleeding and then the eyes turn white, that was a pretty creepy image for the 70s. For a 70s film. And then when you find out what the killer can do, I kind of like that idea too. I don't know if I'll give it away. Look good, because normally when you found this movie, it was very bad quality bootleg, because at one point this film was in the public domain until Severin cleaned it up and released it for this. So yeah. Very nice to have this. Pretty good film if you like 70s movies, if you like Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. And last is The Strangeness. There's another film that will be on the 80s horror film list. I believe 1985. Although it says here 1980, but I think it took a few years for it to get a release. This is a movie that's hard to recommend to people. I'll say this when I review the film. It's hard to recommend it to people, but with that said, I did enjoy it. There's bad acting. First act that's pretty slow. It has a tiny budget of $25,000. At the same time though, the reason I liked it, I like the idea where it's people going to the gold spike mine to discover some gold, and there has to be a creature in there. I thought when they were in the tunnels there was a good sense of claustrophobia for a film that's such a tiny budget. I like the monster. You don't see it a lot, and it's stop motion, which people would laugh at, but I have a fondness for stop motion animation, and the monster design was almost like an H.P. Lovecraft. It was definitely a different kind of design. And even if you think it's bad, it still got some entertainment value out of that. And maybe I give leeway to this because this is a student film. That's really what it is. It's a student film made for $25,000. So you're not expecting The Descent or Predator or Aliens. And this is almost a lost film. Like for a long time, this film was lost in the trenches. And even then, good luck trying to find this. You can find it to watch. Not sure if it's on YouTube, but there's a website called Tubi TV, Tubi TV, and they have a bunch of free horror films you can watch without signing in or anything. Not really new stuff, but like a bunch of older stuff, which was pretty cool. Again, it's like www.tubitv, Tubi TV, and that's how I saw a film like this. And it does have a couple features, and there's a movie that was done, I think it's 16 millimeter. But I mean, it had enough aspects. I like the idea, simple but straightforward idea. I like when they're in the tunnels and the claustrophobia setting. I actually don't mind this lead guy who has the mustache. The rest of the actors are bad, but I think he actually did a fairly decent job, which is good because he was the lead. The ending, was cool. Was fine. Wasn't a downbeat ending or anything. I think a lot of people would not like this film because they'll find it too slow, too boring, and too amateurish. If that's a word, too amateur hour with the acting and such. So I think a lot of people find it just too boring and too slow for their taste. But this is one I did like. Like I said, I liked little aspects of it. I'll mention that when I review the film, but yeah, it will not be a lot of people's cup of tea, but yeah. This is one of the, for me, little gems that I found, which even saying that is a tall order, because it's not a gem on the, like when I saw Murder by Phone, or Shakma, when I did my first time viewing long ago. But I know it's like 19 minutes and talking too much. But hey, it is what it is. I haven't done one of these in a while. Yeah. So recap. The Strangeness. Horror Express. Silent Scream. My Demon Lover. The full series of Miami Vice for $25. And Robin Williams and his 5 HBO stand-ups. Thanks for watching, take care, and we will see you for another video later.